Everybody, it's Chuck and I'm back out in the shop. Tonight's tip is how to protect your jigs. Now, everybody knows that I like to paint my own jigs, pour my own used powder paint, and that's awesome. You know, I like certain situations, like a do it mold, alter a minnow head, or in this case, a walleye jig with a collar and barb. And, you know, look at that. That is clear coated. That's fresh poured lead. It's not spun. I did it here at the house. That's my take on chrome. Or if I want to get creative with some of the powders, and this is a white base, candy yellow, candy blue, that's my take on the old Reef Runner pattern Huckleberry. It's called Wild Thing now. Bass heads call them Sexy Shiner. I can do this, and I like this color pattern because white seems to do real well in partially stained water. All right. Plus, with the powder paint, I can do this to it, and it's not going to chip the paint. All right. Some situations, some bodies of water, I need a specialty jig that I just can't make myself. Right. Sometimes the water is really clear. There's a lot of fish down there, and I want something that's going to stand out, really pop. And I will take this thumper jig from Northland Fishing Tackle, and you see that nice little Indiana right there? It gives it a little bit of flash. It's been around for a long, long time. But I'm paying money for this stuff. And I want that to I picked this color for a reason. It's glow, it's got blue on it, it's a rainbow shiner looking thing. In some areas where I go, that's a big deal. That color means a lot. You know, unfortunately, you work with somebody, or you have a favorite company, and then at some point, you know, they just quit making something. Well, this rocket jig from Northland is a true stand-up jig. It's just a great jig. You know, sometimes I want to be right there on the bottom, and I just want to go pitter-patter on the bottom. Say I had a cold front come in, the walleyes are just snuckered right down to the bottom. They don't want to come up 2, 3, 4 feet. They just want a presentation right there in front of their nose. And with one of the St. Croix that I'll be using, you know, I can feel that bottom every time I tip it or tap it. That's awesome. Sometimes I want even something more subtle. I want something that's going to be live bait presentation. I could do this with a crawler. I could do this with 3-4 inch live bait shiner. And this is the Swing It jig. It's got a football shaped body on it. It's got a nice flat bottom. And I can do the same thing. I can keep that in that bottom strike zone. One of the companies I've had the privilege to work with is Clam Outdoors, and I've been ice fishing using their products since 2001. One of my old ice team cards, calendars, membership card is from 2000, 2001. So that very first winter. And I've been using tungsten since, you know, a long, long time through the ice. Now I get to use it in open water. That's 3/8 of an ounce. That's 3/8 of an ounce. Look at the difference in size. Even though this is a round ball, I am still considering this something that will cut the current, because if I attach that to one of our split tails from Lure Lipstick, that head is not bulging that much out in front of that plastic minnow. So I can pitch this 3/8 in Detroit. I can pitch this 1/4 ounce in Saginaw or on any inland lake. So powder paint, indestructible. This stuff's great. Some of the paint jobs, you know, I want to protect them. I want those colors to last. They don't make that rocket jig anymore, and I pick the colors out for a purpose. Certain bodies of water that I fish that I know, okay? So what I'll do is I'll take this component system, or CS, and this is a vinyl lure and jig finish clear coat. And I'll take this little artsy crafty brush. I'll open this sucker up. And I've had that peach crate behind me since the 90s. And I took some small nails and I wrapped some 30-pound that I had very little left monofilament. And that's my jig, my portable little jig drying thing. So I'll take my little artsy brush, dip it in the clear coat, and then carefully give this a coat all the way around it. Don't want to do too heavy because when you hang it, gravity will take the excess and you'll form a little nipple on the bottom. Honestly, I don't know if the fish care, but I do. It don't look right. All right. And then I'll put this back and let it hang and dry. It only takes a couple hours. This stuff dries out real fast. Comes up in a 1 ounce, and I think the bigger bottle is a 4 ounce. I'm not making these things to sell. You know, I'm not trying to make money off the stuff I make for my own fishing. So I don't go through the 4 ounce fast enough. The last bottle I had, actually, I went to go use it this year because I did get some new jigs, and it was all solid on the bottom. So I went with this 1 ounce. I've already done, I don't know, 80 jigs, and I still have more than half the bottle left. All right, component systems. Like I said, it only takes about an hour, and then you can put it back in your container, and it will not stick together and pull paint off each other. So that's my tip. This is how you protect the paint jobs of some of your favorite jigs. You know, whether it's one application or another, it's just insurance. Something that will work out real well, and I've been doing it for a decade and a half, and I really, really like how that's worked out. Open water, you know, sometimes I will take this little round ball and do it ice fishing, so you can do it with your ice fishing jigs also. Till next time, and happy Thanksgiving.